Hey guys, on this edition of Off the Cuff, we're going to be looking at these very unusual towers prototypes. We have this very unusual towers that I also took to Indianapolis to the lock show, and apparently this is a one-of-a-kind prototype for a stop that we don't know where it fits in the tower's story. It has all the patent dates all the way up to December 6th of 1882. Okay, so we know that this is a December 6th. This was produced in 1882, but we can't find any information or any other similar ones. Now, how does it work, you ask? Well, it works just like a regular tower's cuff. And if you want to, where do you see this? With a different type of stop. What does that mean? That means that it's just like the tower's patent stop, but this one we can't quite figure out, and when I say we, I mean other experts who I showed this to. It almost appears to be a prototype or a one-off. Now the strange thing is that this has the exact same patent date on it as the patent stop, and I thought that maybe this was something that was added onto later, but a lot of the guys seem to agree that this is factory. Alright, it's got this spring-loaded plunger. Alright. And what do you do with it? Well, if you pull it out like this. Alright, oh man, I hope you can see that. The way this works is, if this plunger is pushed out, the cuff works just like a regular tower's cuff, and it can go all the way through and get locked. If you don't push this little button, maybe you can see better this way, the bow can't go in, so they can be carried around unlocked. See that? I'll push it. God, I hope you can see that. It's so teeny. Anyway, just a little bit of that, it's almost like a half a staple sticks out that you cannot lock the cuff. Okay, so you can carry these around unlocked. When you want to put them on somebody's wrist, push the button, the staple comes out, and it operates like a regular cuff. Very interesting mechanism to prevent it from being locked while carried by the officer. Now the interesting thing about these, and the story behind these guys, is I went to one of my local flea markets where everybody knows I collect cuffs, where everybody knows I collect cuffs, and the dealer says, "Oh, I got a pair of those handcuffs, but I know you have them. They're the Towers ones." You know, and he described them, and I said, "Oh, well, that's cool, you know, what do you want for them?" And because I never pay more than, you know, $60 for a pair of, say, Towers double locks anymore, because I have so many. So it's not worth my while to buy them. And he goes, $45 into yours. And I was like, all right, well, let me see him. And it was still dark out. It was like 5 in the morning. So he gives me these. They have a key. And I get them, and I'm like, okay. And then I just noticed that button on the way back to my car, because I put it in my pocket. It was kind of cold out this morning. So anyway, basically I bought the cuffs for $45, put them in my pocket, walked around the rest of the flea market until the sun came up, and then I get in the car and I look at them and I'm like, what in the hell is that? And that's when I realized that these were something special because of that. And I'm playing with it, and I'm trying to figure out, you know, maybe this was added later, but this has to be factory produced because the craftsmanship is so good, and there's an actual internal spring in there. So the only way to get a spring inside this cuff like that is to do it at the factory before you put the plate on. So these are a really weird pair of towers playing with a way to carry them unlocked. Maybe they use this and then they came up with the idea for the patent stop model, which I'll get to in a minute. Or maybe they had the patent stop and it was a little bit too tricky to produce because the mechanism's in the bow of the cuff on them, and so they tried out this. But according to all the towers collectors, and if you have a pair like this, please let us know. These might be unique. I would really like for somebody to get a hold of all the paperwork from the towers company and find out, you know, was this something that one guy came up with on his lunch hour and made and then, you know, presented it to the bosses and they shot him down, or what? What's the deal? I can't find it in any catalogs or anything like that. This little shark fin is spring-loaded, as you can see. So, when the cuff is open and you go to carry it around, it's put in a position where the teeth of the bow don't catch to the locking dog. That stop, hence the name, patent stop, because they patented it and it's a stop, prevents the cuff from closing enough to lock, so the officer can carry it around unlocked. Well, there you have it, another Towers variation, and in this case, we really don't know that much about it. I just wanted to give you another close-up look on this camera of the mechanism. You can see it, there we go. It goes in that way. And a close-up here of the button. And the 3 links. And it closed. See there, staple. On the opposite side, the button. Who knows? Another variation of the Towers, like I said, and if you have one, please let us know. If you have something similar, it would be really interesting to know that there's more than just one of these out there. Okay? Check in again next time for Off the Cuff, because I'm going to be talking about more of the Towers variations from the collection, some of the oddballs. We still have the patent stop to go. I have a really weird pair that's attached to a waist chain, and the bar cuff. Okay? And also an early model with the round key. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos as much as I enjoy making them.